Hi, everyone. Jonathan Russell here, President of Partners Construction Group here in St. Petersburg, Florida. Today, I want to talk a little bit about the difference between a design build approach and a design bid build approach from the client's perspective. So, oftentimes, we as a contractor or builder get asked, when are you brought in on a project? When should you be brought in on a project? Well, we like to say as early as possible. I'll tell you why. First, every project needs to be set up for success early on in the beginning. And when we talk about that, we talk about primarily about communication. The best way to do that is through a design build approach. Mostly our projects are through the design build approach for the homes and projects that we build. So what does that mean? I'll talk a little bit about the pros and the cons between the two that I mentioned. But as far as a design build approach, we as a contractor, your builder, subcontract and hire the architects, the engineers, the geotechnical engineers, and structural engineers, pool engineers, anybody that is a part of that project in regards to the design, we handle all of that. We also not only handle that, we take that team and we manage them from the beginning all the way to the end of the project. We put the key in the door. So, sure, the biggest con about that is it's all your eggs in one basket. But there are way more pros that outweigh that, such as all team members are together communicating from the very beginning. There's no questions about design, there's no questions about what is included. When you're in the design build approach, you have a full team commitment early on. Everyone has an understanding of what the budget is. Maybe they have the understanding of what the schedule impacts are. They have an understanding of the goals of the project. In a design build approach, it essentially creates a path of communication in a circle. Everyone is communicating all the time. It creates a very, very efficient system. On a design bid build approach, this is when the client has to find and hire an architect directly. So there's a process in that. When it comes to the design bid build approach, once you have your architect selected, you, as the owner, as a client, will sit with that architect and you will design that house and back and forth and design that house and you'll get it to where you love it and it will probably look great. And then you'll take those plans and you will send it out to bid. One contractor, maybe two, maybe three, maybe more. Who knows? Once you get those bids back from those contractors, I will assure you and can promise you that you will have three different numbers all over the board, and you'll find yourself wondering, why are they lower? Why are they higher? What is going on here? If they got the same plans from my architect, then why are they all different? Secondly, oftentimes in a design bid build approach, you find that the bids, when they come back, they're more than what your budget was. So now you're back to the drawing board. You got to go back to the architect. Or you try to go find another contractor. Maybe they can be lower. I can tell you that most of the time, if you have three contractors that are the same price, they're pretty much all going to be similar in cost regardless. So, pros of the design build approach is going back to that is when you have the team together, you've established your budget, you've established your goals, you've established what it is that you want. You are involved in that, of course, the whole time, but you have a team focused on that. When you are in the design bid build approach, everyone is kind of on their own islands. Contractors are, hey, when you get me the plans, I'll price it for you. I'll bid it for you. And also, oftentimes in a design bid build approach, as a contractor for risk management, in our minds and the way we think, we bid the plans. We don't bid part of the plans and then give you a lot of value engineering options. Sometimes we do, but it takes a lot of time, takes a lot of effort, takes a lot of work. And another thing is we don't want to steer outside of the vision from that architect, want to be respectful for their design. We also want to make sure that we are pricing what it is that you want and what you selected. So if you have a farmhouse sink with a apron on it and it's $1,000 or whatever it cost, and we want to try to decrease cost because we're trying to win the job, we want to be the lowest we can possibly be, we specify a stainless steel sink. Well, yeah, we're saving costs, but is that what you want? So the design bid build approach can be advantageous if you, the client, are just looking for someone to do it the cheapest way possible, and you just that's what you're looking for. Price is your focus. The design build approach is by far the best possible scenario for your project. We get asked four things primarily from clients. What's it cost? When can you start? When can you finish? And what's it going to look like? And I can tell you on the design build approach, that is the best way for you, the client, to have the home built that you will love for many years to come.